Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a Châtillon 25 tonnes. It's a tier 10 French medium tank. It's located on the south spawn of steps under the command of Aurorik78. Yes, he's got Duffy in a DBV 152 and they're continuing to play light tank substitute. Yes, because basically this is a medium tank that's kitted out to look like a light tank in terms of its ability to spot the enemy and then to actually take them out. Now, as you may have heard in previous battles, because we did pick up a brief video featuring Aurorik in a previous video, it said that he actually uses the CVS, a bounty exhaust, and also optics, bond optics, as his main equipment. It's not showing here at the moment, but I'm sure you do realize that. Also, he's using nothing but standard APCR, which is of course the standard ammunition for the Batchat 25 ton. So he's going to try and spot as a medium tank, and if you look at the screen, you can see that there are no light tanks on the enemy team at all. And that's because normally he would enter the battle as a light tank, and that would put a light tank on the enemy team as well, because of course the matchmaker has to match the various vehicles and their capabilities. But because he's entered in as a medium tank, there's no light tank on the enemy team, and so consequently he's actually got an advantage for his team, because he's acting as a light tank, spotting for his team, even though, and he didn't get spotted there when he shot, even though he's acting as a light tank right out the middle of the field. Even though he's a medium tank, he can still get the benefits of being a light tank. Now the Batchat 25 ton, I haven't said much about that, but there were two prototypes. The French didn't actually go ahead and build it though. 1950 was when they designed it, so it's just post-war. They made two prototypes, but it never went ahead. Oh, look at this. Striv 103B, unfortunately, he's in the middle of a reload. He popped the reload in, but the Striv can't see him because he's hidden in the bushes. Unfortunately, Kunstpanzer came up behind him. Now, he hasn't been spotted yet because none of his reference points have poked out of the bush. But the Kunstpanzer is now in for a very, very big shock when he suddenly realizes a medium tank directly behind him. In fact, there's two enemies down here. A Wizzy 120, he takes out the Kunstpanzer, and now he's got to unload on this Wizzy 120. Yeah, he did get tracked by the Wizzy. And now he's in reload, and he's in dire trouble. He needs to get out of there, and he needs his teammate. In fact, actually, it's Duffy who comes to the rescue, and he claims the kill on the Wizzy 120. He just didn't have enough rounds left to wipe out the Wizzy, but Duffy did, and was able to deal with him. We're almost reloaded, but you can see now that Aurorik has actually dropped to only 511 hit points left out of the 1800 he started with. And that's another kill for Duffy there. He managed to take out the Striv 103B in the distance. Now we're spotting the Batchat 25 ton. He's a one shot, he's gone. Nice kill there. Did we get spotted? No, because the guy was double bushed. There's the bushes that were blocking him from seeing us at a distance. Okay, so he's spotting at this point here, but there's still a couple of enemies over in this general direction, a T-30 and a Bosch 155, as far as we can tell from the mini-maps. Normally the mini-maps are a good source of information. Just occasionally you find that they're not, and that one of the enemy tanks has gone over the other side of the battlefield. We've got a 4-tank advantage, and we're still reloading, and we found a hacker, a T-30 and the Bosch 155, but we did get spotted. So now we've got to watch out, because we don't want a 155mm round hitting us. He's managed to get behind the rock, so he's safe. And Duffy gets a big hit. 802 hit points, and that goes to spotting. We're now up to 3,643 spotting assists on a medium tank, and you can see the hacker, and the hacker, well, he's actually suffering because that's another big hit by Duffy. And the kill goes in, but it's not Duffy, it's a nice, it's an FE215B183, the Death Star, takes out the hacker. Okay, so we've got near the enemy cap. We can see the T-30. We're not spotted. Look at the way that he sits there in that bush. Only an expert would know how to plant himself in the bush without being spotted in the process. So it's very, very nicely done. He didn't have to look to see and check that the reference points were all enclosed. You can also see that the Wizzy 120 actually did fire premium rounds at him, because those are the marks from the heat round that hit his rear. Okay, so we're going in for the kill. Duffy gets a big hit. We're coming in from behind to take the guy out. One shot and he's got another kill. And now we've got the enemy Arty in sight. We've got 3 rounds available to take him out. Only one's needed and he's gonna. And that's it. The game's over and both guys have won. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tank for Aurorik78 of SAMS in the batch at 25 ton. He managed to get a fighter badge for taking out 4 enemy tanks, at least 4. He actually did get 4 in this game. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, and he got a scout medal. He actually detected 9 enemy vehicles right from the start of the game. His win rate was only 1,623, but he did do a lot of spotting, and spotting obviously sometimes isn't recorded or doesn't figure in the win rate figures, and that's a very good result. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage in this game because it was actually Duffy who got it. 5,667 hit points of actual damage. The second highest was the Taschenratter on the enemy team, who managed 5,500. And in third place, it was the Death Star on our own team, the FE215B183, who got 4,614 hit points of damage. You can see Aurorik actually picked up 1,684 out of that game, which means that quite a lot of members of the enemy team managed to get more damage than he did. In fact, it's 6 members of the enemy team managed to get more damage than he did, and 6 members of his own team, which means that he's actually in 13th place when it comes to damage. But I don't think he minds so much because he did get the scout medal, and he also got the highest number of kills. He got 4 kills. Everyone else, I've got 2 or 1 or nothing. In fact, you can see it was Duffy who got 2 kills. So did the Death Star, so did the Hacker and the T-54. And the T-54 got a Leather Slaves medal in that game. Only 2 members of the enemy teams managed to get 2 kills. And in fact, only 4 players on their team managed to get kills at all in that game. When it came to base XP, he's tops. Yes, Aurorik managed to get 1,190 out of that one. So it means that he's got the top in 2 columns, just missed out on damage. 1,066 went to the Hacker and 1,017 went to the A Phase 1. And we can see that there's Duffy with 920. So only 3 players managed to make it over 1,000 base. Aurorik fired only 10 rounds in the entire game. He got 7 direct hits and 7 penetrations. Only 3 rounds went where he didn't want them to go. 1,684 hit points of damage, of which 57 were at more than 300 meters. So not much in the way of damage at distance, but he did receive 5 hits from the enemy, 3 of which penetrated, 2 non-penetrations, 250 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He spotted 12 enemy vehicles by that quick dash across the main plane of the battlefield to get into those bushes so that he could spot the enemy, but the enemy couldn't see him. He's kitted out his batch at 25 ton. Even though it's a medium tank, he's kitted it out like a light tank. And so he's able to spot the enemy much easier. And of course, they're not likely to see him because his camo is so high. As I said, it's about 52% camo rating on a stationary basis. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and he did 5,589 hit points of spotting assists in that game. A lot of that went to Duffy, who was taking advantage of Aurorik's spotting. On a premium count, he actually made 43,804 credits from that game. He also picked up 7 bonds for it being tier 10 and 10,710 experience points, including 7,140 for a mission completion job. So again, a Batchat and the DBV teaming up for action. And yes, the DBV making a lot of damage on the enemy at the advantage because, of course, he's got a great spotter working for him. So let's have a look at the second battle and see if he does any better. The second replay is on the Malinovka map, but unfortunately, for some reason, Wargaming have still not fixed their faults with the sound system, and so we got no engine noises, but we can hear out just about everything else.
This battle will change the future. Let's begin.
Game on. Well, he's moving out to the center of the field like he did on the Steps map, but he stopped. And I suspect that he's worried that there might be an enemy light tank going for the bushes over here. And even though he's right out in the open, he's still reloading. Now, the enemy Hawk has been spotted, so he did get that one. The Hawk 30, but there is another light tank, a Lynx 6x6. Now, that guy's a fast scout, so more than likely he would appear out the field somewhere to the north. You can see the Hawk hasn't spotted him, even though he's right in the middle of the field. So I had the sneaking suspicion that what he's going to do instead is just park himself in these bushes and let his teammates take advantage of the enemy. Boy, do they take advantage, because our VK101P just took out the Hawk 30 with one big hit. Okay, so we can see the Leopard 1 on the enemy team over there. Our Lynx by 6x6 is moving down by the lakeside. And the Strip 103B, well, he got spotted. And that's Duffy hitting him for 802 hit points. And that's spotting for Aurorik. So you can spot with a medium tank, just kitted out for light tank purposes. Now he's watching that Leopard poke out through the hole. And our teammates can probably see that as well. He could easily hit that Leopard as it is, but he just doesn't want to give his position away. And he's just picked up 443 spotting the Leopard because somebody managed to put a shell directly through the hole. Well, you can see the Strip moving about. The Leopard stopped poking the hole now because he realizes he's in danger. And looks like the Strip is retreating right down the back of the map. And because there was nobody in sight, no light tank spotting, and the Strip gets taken out, hit by a Nomad. Okay, so he's changing bush. He's still got just one shell short, and it looks to me like he's decided to use the center bushes over here. And he can see a mouse over here. So moving bushes has actually helped because he spotted another enemy tank that he can take advantage of. And he's earned so much spotting. He's now got the communications expert working as well. You can see that right down at the bottom. There's the Leopard 1. Reluctant to poke his head out because he's lost half his hit points now. The 6x6 must be somewhere out in the field, possibly on the ramp at F7. I think he might be over there. Our Lynx 6x6 hasn't spotted him, but he's in a position to spot if the Lynx pops up there. Our Blesk, which is one of our light tanks, is moving into a position where... Oh, and he found him! He flushed him out! It was there. He was on the ramp. 6x6. And our Blesk has now flushed him out by proxy spotting him, because the Blesk is just below the ridgeline. And there's the Lynx. One round in, and can we get another one in before? No, because he managed to get back into cover, but he didn't see us, even though we fired, because he's such a distance away and we've got so good camo that there's no way he could spot. And he takes him out with the second shot. So that's the first kill for Aurorik78. You can see there's Duffy. He's in the second set of bushes, using them for cover. Meanwhile, the mouse has been joined by an SU-130PM, and our teammates seem to be taking advantage of that. And there's a tortoise there as well. Well, we could poke holes in the side of the tortoise, but if we did, more than likely we'd get spotted. And Aurorik's not going to give up his spotting position. He did fire that round into the SU-130PM because, of course, he wasn't spotted at that point. Goes for the turret and gets it. Okay, so now he's in full reload. He must have got some damage on the SU-130PM. He's showing 742 spotting assist and then 410 from his actual shot. So the SU-130PM is badly damaged. He's decided to move about even though he's not fully loaded yet. It's going to make life very difficult for the enemy to spot if he's sitting over on their side of the battlefield and they can't see him. Oh, he has been spotted now. He really does need to get into cover quick because somebody will be trying to put a shot into him. Now, I suspect it was the mouse or the SU-130PM who saw him, but he would have gone unspotted now, so they don't know where he's gone back to. Yes, maybe he shouldn't have gone beyond the hedge line, but oh, now he can definitely see the side of the turret of the mouse. And the mouse is gone. The kill shot came from the leopard one on our team. Okay, so he's got a second set of bushes here. You can spot the SU-130PM from here. Only one shell short. That tree going down might have given them a clue if they were looking, but there's only 5 enemies remaining. As far as we can tell, the SU-130PM is behind those houses, just on the other side of the cap. The tortoise won't have moved far, so he'll probably be there as well. Can't guarantee that the Batchat 25 ton is the other side of the lake, although that could be. And he's found the Batchat. Oh, he is. He's not this side. And in fact, we blocked that shot, and he's going in for the kill. Okay, so he's locked on. That's 2. He is taking rounds. Oh, in fact, he's taking too many rounds. Okay, so he's got 1 shell left. And he gets that one in. And the Batchat goes down. Taken out by our Link 6x6. So he has lost a lot of hit points. He's gone down to 407. The tortoise hits him for 290. Which is kind of on the low side, actually. That was an APCR round as well. You don't really need to use APCR on a Batchat because, of course, they don't have much armor. He's still in reload, but the tortoise is gone. And that's it. That's the end of the game. It's a victory. Here's the end of battle spats, and despite not actually having the engine sound, that was still a first-class tanker for Aurorik78 of SAMS in the Châtillon 25 ton. I know when he played the game, he probably did have sound, but unfortunately on the replays, it just doesn't work. And despite trying many, many times to get the replay to run, it just won't run with the sound at all. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He did get 5 exactly. On this battle, instead of getting a scout medal, he got a patrol duty medal for being the only one spotting 6 enemy tanks whilst they were being damaged. His win rate was 2,967, which is on the borderline between Unicum and Super Unicum, and a very good game it was too. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see in this one, the highest damage in the game actually belonged to the T95 Doom Turtle, who managed 4,345 hit points of damage. Second highest was the mouse on our team with 3,740, And the third highest was Aurorik with 3,144. You can see as well that Duffy got 2,425 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, we can see that he only got the one, the top scorer being the Mouse who got 3, and the Leopard 1, and the AMX65 ton. 2 kills went to the Doom Turtle. On the enemy team, none of them got more than 1 kill. In fact, only 4 players got kills at all in that game. And when it came to base XP, Aurorik got that one for all the spotting he did. 1,248 base experience points, with the Doom Turtle getting 1,134 based on the amount of damage that guy did. And they were the only two managed to make it over 1,000 base, with the AMX65 ton getting 976 in third place. And we can see Duffy picked up 692. He didn't get any kills, but he did get a sizable amount of damage. Aurorik fired only 12 rounds in the game, so he got 11 direct hits on the enemy and 8 penetrations, 3,144 hit points of damage, of which 1,556 were at long range. 6 hits received, 5 of which penetrated, 1 non-penetration, 390 hit points of damage blocked by armor. I did say again many times, the Backchat 25 ton really doesn't have any armor. 60mm on the front of the hull, 50mm on the front of the turret, everywhere else is less. And if you do get hit, it's going to hurt. He spotted 6 of the enemy, damaged 4 of them, and killed 1. And he did 7,078 hit points of spotting assist in that game. So he really went to town. And his teammates were really benefiting from everything he spotted for them. On a premium count, he made 96,893 credits for hiding in a bush. And he also earned 32 bonds, 25 of which was a mission achievement, 7 for being tier 10, and 10,296 experience points, of which 7,488 were mission completion. So another successful mission showing that the Backchat 25 ton can be an adequate scout if you get it out correctly. Let's have a look at his third battle. Well, Wargaming have given us sound on third replay, so you just never can tell when it's going to come back on. But yes, we have the Murovanka map over on the South Spawn. So let's see what Aurorik can do in this one. And Duffy will be able to smack them about the chops with his big gun. Now, the one thing about the Backchat 25 ton is it does have good burst damage, with the ability to do 5 shots at 390 hit points a time. Yeah, he can actually do, well, it's close to 2,000 hit points of damage from one magazine alone. It's basically 5 times 400 minus 10 for each, so only 50 hit points less than 2,000. 1,950 to be precise. But of course, some of those are high rolls and some are low rolls, so you can get a lot of damage. And at the moment, he's decided to sit on the edge of the forest, and his teammates, well, some of them are going in, and he's just spotted this guy, and he happens to be an enemy light tank, so, oh, and we get hit back. Oh, now they were waiting for that. A Gorilla 15 sitting on the edge, he got a low roll, but we took a big clout there for 696. Of course, he's got 750 alpha, so he won't be a bit disappointed that he only got 696. But it's basically saying that maybe it's not a good idea to be spotting on this corner of the map, because the enemy tends to go to the exact opposite corner and see if they can get damage. I'm sure that Gorilla was waiting for somebody to perk up. And when he fired at that light tank, yeah, I think they knew straight away there was somebody there. Now, they do have a light tank on the enemy team. It's that Balkan killer, or Balkan Kappa, I should say. Our light tank happens to be another Balkan Kappa. But, yes, the only one who's really kitted out to be a good light tank is actually Aurorik78. Well, he's making himself a nice little nest at the moment to increase his camo. Plenty of trees going down. There's an Arty on both teams. The enemy have got a T92 HMC. We've got an Object 261. That kind of gives us an advantage over them. They may have a big hit, but we've got the more accurate shooter. And of course, our guy can fire a repeat shot much quicker. Well, so far, Aurorik's doing a good job of being a lumberjack because he's knocking down a lot of trees. But he is trying to provide a big enough amount of cover to protect him whilst he actually scouts. It's getting closer and closer to the enemy. I spotted the CS63, but we got spotted, and so we have to pull back. There's the walking Kappa, and he's probably got the CVS, the Commander's Vision System. Oh, good shot at long range. He hit that walking Kappa for 383, which is a low roll. Now Vickers is able to move up as well. Okay, so he's sitting in the bush. You can see the 432U. The CS63's just come over. I think he got the spotting on that as well. And he takes him out with one shot. Did we get spotted? Well, nobody's taking any action. But we now know where the Gorilla 15 is. He's up on the hill. That's how he had a good shot in our direction. The moment we fired at the Borkin Kappa, or to get the name right, the Borkin Kappa, that's when he saw we had a good position right on the edge of the forest and he was able to get a shot in. Well, the enemies managed to make a deep ingrounds into our territory on the west side of the map. Okay, we're still in reload. We're spotting on that T803. We can see the Gorilla 15 off to our north.
Moving to cover your flank.
Okay, so he's going to try and outflank the enemy. Give the Type 5 Heavy a means to actually take out this T803. Okay, so he's been spotted. Is it by the Gorilla? Well, the T803 is now feeling it. And that's two. He does take one hit from the T803. And fires the last one in to get the kill shot. He's popped the reload straight away. So he did lose 408 hit points. He's now down to just 337 left, but he's in reload, so he can't do much for the moment. Just needs to avoid the enemy getting a shot on him. If they know who he is, and most people know who Aurorik78 is, thanks to jingles and of course the videos that elsewhere on the web, they know that he is one of the top light tank players. Okay, ready to go. There we go, BZ79, but we've got a teammate just in front of us. When he's seeing the top of his turret, there's the Leopard. We can take the Leopard out with one shot. He's looking for a solution. And the BZ79 is also a one shot. The BZ's gone down. That was the Strip 10712. Now we've got a breaker. Oh, he goes for the lower plate and he gets it. Didn't get that one through, but now he goes for the sides. Tracks him. That's hit him. So 3 kills now for Aurorik. The Leopard was taken out by the Walking Kappa on our team. You can see he's already headed north. We're having a lot of fun at the other end of the map, but the one person who could actually cause some problems is the Jaeger. He's off to the left. Almost reloaded. The Gorilla 15 is also a problem, and here he is. And he doesn't last very long because that was Duffy taking a kill. Okay, now we're starting to swarm around the Jaegeru. I don't know how he's going to take this, but he's not going to get attacked piecemeal. He's going to be attacked by virtually the entire army at the same time. And now he's got a very long reload after taking out our Vickers 3. And everybody can pile on in. I can hear the shouts for mine, mine, mine all around. And he gets the kill shot. There's the Walking Kappa. Still got 4 shells. He takes him with 1 shot. And that's 5 kills for Aurorik. There's only 3 enemies remaining, including the Arty. So he could be on for a Top Gun. No, he won't get the T-92 because that was Stuffy taking that kill. So there's only 2 left. The Object 432U and, of course, their Death Star. Now, we've only got 337 hit points, so we are a 1 shot for the Death Star if he spots us. There he is. And he's side on, so we can take him from here. And that's a kill and a Top Gun for Aurorik. 1 enemy remaining, the 432. We might as well fire our last shell into him. Goes for the engine bay. And there's the kill shot that wins the game. And that came in from our Object 430. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a great game because Duffy ended the battle just a short distance behind Aurorik, and he picked up a first-class tanker out of that game, as well as a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. He got his 2nd mark of excellence in that game as well, because he's done so much damage on a regular basis that yes, he's earned that mark, and he got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire for effect for doing more damage to the hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, in fact he got 6. He got an Oskins medal for killing 3 enemy tanks or tank destroyers in a battle with by a medium tank, at least 1 tier higher than his own, as well as a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He got 6 exactly. His win rate from that battle was 5,685, which is Super Unicum standard. So a really great game in that one, even though he spent most of the battle with very low hit points. We can see that the highest damage in that game actually belonged to the Shure MV7X. That guy picked up a Confederate for 5,872 hit points. Second highest damage was the Death Star on the enemy team with 4,805. And the third highest damage went to Aurorik with 4,351 hit points. We can see as well that Duffy picked up 3,637, and he was beaten by only 1 member of the enemy team and 3 members of his own. So Duffy was in 5th place when it came to damage, but Aurorik was definitely in 3rd. When it came to kills, yep, Aurorik was tops with that one. 6 kills went to Aurorik, 2 kills went to the Duffy, and also to the Shure 103B. And everybody else, I've got 1 kill or nothing. And when it came to base XP, yes, it's Aurorik. He got 1,225 on that one, which means he's got the top in 2 of the columns. 1,056 went to the Shure 107X, and the third highest was the Walking Kappa, who got 935. And we can see Duffy with 842 down in 5th place. he fired 17 rounds, so a lot more ammunition expended. He got 17 direct hits, but only 13 penetrations, so some of his shells must have hit the tracks or bounced off the armor. No splashes, 4,351, of which 1,342 were at more than 300 meters. 3 hits received, yep, all penetrated, I'm afraid. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and he did 2,484 hit points of spotting assist in this game. On a premium count, he earned 43,818 hit points of damage in this, of credits rather. Excuse me. 43,818 credits from this game, 7 bonds for being tier 10, and 10,108 experience points, including 7,352 experience for mission completion. So yes, he did have a really great game, and well, the fact that he's now got 2 marks and 2 nice little medals out of his testing, it seems to be working. He's getting great results. He can spot as a medium tank, and he can do a lot of damage as a medium tank as well. So that's the end of this video's recording. So I hope you enjoyed those 3 battles. Very interesting. The one on Malinovka, where he sat out in the middle, much like a light tank would, and got great spots on the enemy. And of course the one on steps, where he was a very active spotter with a nice little scout medal as well, to show that he was actually spotting a lot of the enemy and his teammates were taking advantage of it. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give this video a like, and we do have another video coming up featuring Aurorik very shortly. Thanks for watching.